Shadow, what are a few points you want voters to remember as they go to the polls and supporting you?
Well, well, one of the points that I want everybody to remember is that I am an individual that is going to be uh, very responsible for his actions. What voting I do, I recognize that it's going to impact our families, our friends, the voters, the rich, the poor, and I bring that to the table. I bring the fact that I know that what I do is going to impact our people. I want people to understand that while in office, we were able to lower the property tax with the assistance of bringing in the outlet mall. We were able to bring down the property tax almost by 20 cents. No other administration, no other mayor and commission can say that. You know, we were very proud, we were very fortunate to be able to do that. We've been able to add monies to beautifying the downtown area. And of course, a lot more is needed. A lot more is needed, and I grant that. And unfortunately, to the naysayers that always say, oh, the downtown area, oh, the downtown area, well, it's very simple. When was the last time you went and you shopped in downtown at the Family Dollar store? Or you got a loan out at one of the loan places in downtown? When was the last time that you stopped by the bank, and deposited there or opened up an account there? The last time you used a local pharmacy? The last time you went to go eat at any local restaurant in the downtown area? The bakeries, there's two bakeries, a Chinese place coming in,
Mm-hmm.
El Phoenix, that's Borderland Hardware that moved off of Main Street. When was the last time you
Right.
did that? Let's be responsible not only for our actions, for our words. Don't be quick to criticize. Unless you've done everything you can, please don't criticize.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not easy. It's not easy to maintain a business in the downtown area. It's very difficult to
Yeah.
keep things clean. It doesn't matter if it's in the downtown area or in the new section of town. Just take your vehicle, for instance. Your vehicle, you're going to go to car wash, or anywhere to go get it washed. Within 2, 3 days, all of a sudden, grass is in there, a rock is in there, it's dusty, it's dirty, the windshield, things happen. What you do when something like that happens, that's what's gonna matter. That's what's gonna matter. Are you gonna just let it go and let it get dirtier, or are you gonna take a chance and it will take time and start cleaning? And that's what we need to do. We need to start taking our own personal time and invest our own personal monies that we have and eat in our downtown eateries.
Mm-hmm.
They're there. Take advantage of them.
Yeah.
But if you
Agree.
don't, why are you complaining? Because it's someone else's problem? Give me a break.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need to be responsible for not only our actions, but our words that come out of our mouths.
Right.
So we need to make sure that we shop local when possible. We've got pharmacies here in Mercedes. We've got our doctors here, and of course they're specialists, and not a problem. But for the day to day, we've got things here in Mercedes, and yes, of course we're not like huge community, and we don't have all the eateries and stuff like that. But you know what? That's us. That's us not giving direction to the EDC. That's us not giving direction to the city of Mercedes. That's us as a city of Mercedes, excuse me, not giving direction to the city manager and his support staff.
Mm-hmm.
That's our responsibility. That's our responsibility as a group, as a mayor, as a city councilman, to come together and say, what direction do we want to do, and what direction do we want to take for our community and for its people. So, having said that, another thing that I want people to understand and realize is, uh, conmigo cuenta. You're gonna count with me, and both formas. You as an individual, you count, but at the same time, you can count on me.
Right.
You count because you're an individual that lives here, pero I'm responsible. Cuenta conmigo.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I am. That's what I bring to the table.
Can you give us your little summary of how you've seen Mercedes kind of transform into today as a, a representative of the community from the mid-90s, and finally seeing the outlet mall, and um, are we already close to the point, or is as far as getting full taxes, or were there tax abatements on the outlet mall coming in?
Absolutely. First and foremost, what we did when we were very fortunate to bring in the outlet mall, we did as much as possible to make sure that we brought it, and we gave for 10 years 50/50 on the sales tax that we're sharing with the Chelsea group, excuse me. But they're getting charged 100% on their property tax. So it wasn't, it was a win-win situation. So what we're looking at is roughly another 4 years, and instead of just the taxes that are coming solely from the outlet mall has increased tremendously. And I want to say that even with the recession, if I'm not mistaken, last year I think it was 2.2 or 2.3 million dollars that came in from there. Of course, half and half. Another 4 years, and all that money is gonna be for the city of Mercedes. But we go back to the same thing. Individuals that are on there, what are they gonna do, or what are they not gonna do? What is Ruben Guajardo in office gonna do, opposed to Ruben Guajardo not being in office gonna do? And ultimately, that's the million-dollar question, because we can easily have a commission and mayor that are in office that will choose to hide it under the pillow or in the bank, and this is no good. You can have it invested back into our community, back into trying to bring additional businesses into Mercedes. We're supposed to reinvest monies back to try to bring in, new businesses into Mercedes, invest in our existing businesses that are here. The objective is to bring in and not let go what we have. Now, of course, they close down all over the place. Mercedes is not going to be immune to something like that. We're going to take our dumps and bumps, but the tax rate that is being brought in by the outlet mall and the property tax is quite healthy, and it has helped Mercedes, with the exception of the last couple of years, almost take it to the next level by bettering the streets that we reconstructed. I'm going to venture to say somewhere in the vicinity of about 20 of them, and overlaid some more. So we really dished out some monies, and we did some infrastructure. Of course, we also annexed pieces of property, and we're growing as a whole. But if we're not careful with our actions, we're not going to be able to grow properly. And if you don't grow properly, that's where problems come in. Because by the time you know it, and 3 years, you're going to have to be utilizing all the monies that are coming in from the outlet mall 100% to cover ugly or bad debt, just because you weren't able to have vision, just because you weren't able to program. What I bring to the table, the experience, the vision, the leadership. Honestly, I don't think any of my opponents have what I have as far as that's concerned. And I'm not speaking ill or have anything against anybody. I really don't. I'm talking about Ruben Guajardo and what he brings to the table, who he is, and what he wants to do for Mercedes. So,
I guess real quick, you mind talking about how your experience and your leadership and time as a representative of Mercedes can help bring in like the next Chuck E. Cheese, or is what the business, or something outside of the outlet mall or next to it, or a theater, and
Well,
How does all that work as a council member and what you could do, you know? We know we're not asking you to make miracles, and I know it's gonna take time to bring in something big. You know, it doesn't happen in one day or one year,
mhm.
but, can you talk about a little bit about what you can do about business growth, or?
I know that as long as effort is being done, Mercedes will prosper. As far as the type of effort that is being handed out, it's totally upon the individual himself. As far as what I'm concerned with is to make sure that we can bring additional tax dollars into our community, and that will alleviate us from having to mess with any user's fees, with the property tax. I, I'm not for that. I'm not for raising taxes. That's an easy way to say, you know what, I couldn't manage what I'm responsible for, the overall budget for Mercedes. So I'm going to request more money from you because I really want to get this done. That's the easy way. Anybody can request. The sweet part is when you do everything you want to do and you took care of Mercedes without messing with the user's fees, without messing with raising taxes. We have to be a little bit more proactive when it comes to being aggressive and trying to bring in additional retail, additional restaurants. It's no secret, Mercedes is a beautiful community. It's got great people. That's the biggest asset that Mercedes has. We need to be able to fit Mercedes with additional restaurants and capture, the rest of the tax dollars that are leaving Mercedes. Let me give you an example. What I actually mean by that, no offense to the other communities, but San Juan's a beautiful community. And it's got thousands and thousands and thousands of visitors that go to the Basilica.
Right, millions a year.
They are not set up as Mercedes at present time to capture all those tax dollars because of the lack of eateries. So, example, you've got the traffic, but no way of capturing all of it. Yes, some will stop and eat there. Some will stop and pump gas and stop at any convenience store and help out. But if you're set up with restaurants and nice places and activities for the people to do, they'll stay. If they stay, they're going to spend more money. Another example, City of Hidalgo. Beautiful, beautiful place. They've got a beautiful arena. Same thing. They're not set up with hotels. Now, granted, if I'm not mistaken, they built two right next to the arena, but they're not set up with restaurants to capture the thousands and thousands of people that go there to their venues.
Right.
It's the same thing that's happening in the community of Mercedes. At any given day, thousands and thousands of shoppers at our outlet mall. And we're faced with little to no restaurants. Now, we've got our hidden jewels, the ones we know about.
Yeah.
But it's not Mercedes residents that are out there shopping on a daily basis.
True.
We've got people from all over the valley, from Corpus this way. Our friends that are coming across the border, Mexican nationals, that are coming here and not spending $1 or $100. They're spending thousands and thousands of dollars. And yet, we can't capture more of their hundreds of dollars because we don't have eateries that they're confident in, that they can relate to, that they can say, oh, I have to go there.
Right.
Off the expressway, there's Whataburger and there's Chili's. How fair are we being to the outlet mall, to the taxpayers, if we can't get our act together and set up Mercedes for it to be successful? Very simple. Our people have been neglected long enough. Elect me, and I will do everything I can to put positive effort into trying to get that for our people. because we deserve it. It's not for Chano. It's got nothing to do with me.
Mhm.
You know what? I've got my son, graduated, going to school. Got my daughter. I don't want her to have to leave Mercedes. I want her to go away for school if she chooses to. She wants to go local, stay at home, not a problem. I don't want to give her any opportunity to not want to come back to Mercedes. Or any other individual to say there's nothing for me in Mercedes.
Mhm.
It's not about that. We need to take care of what we have and grow from there. We need to take care of, yes, by all means, go educate yourself. But let me give you something to try to come back to. Tempe, Austin, beautiful, San Antonio, Chicago, you can go anywhere. And it's different and it's beautiful. It may be for you, it may not be for you. But there's choices. I don't want Mercedes to be a choice. I want it to be their choice. The only way it's going to happen is if we get our things together and we start working together.
Mhm.
I'm not there to pick on anybody. I'm not after anybody from staffing or elected officials or anything like that. Understand one thing. I'm there to get a job done. My responsibility is to our community, to its people. Not there to be friends with the city manager, with the assistant, with the police chief, with the fire chief. None of those. I like you, respect you, not a problem. We need to get the job done. Plain and simple. Not there, I don't have an axe to grind with anyone, from elected to personnel. I'm not there to go after the chief, to go after the fire chief, to go after public works director, to go after any contract. My objective is Mercedes Primero. That's it.
Great.
That's it. Very simple. Anyone has a question for me? Area code 956-463-5256. I don't hide from anybody. I work. If I don't answer, I'll definitely return calls. I get text messages. I'm on Facebook. I don't hide from anybody. I'm proud of who I am, what I've done. My parents, gave me life, showed me what it is to live, gave me an opportunity. That's what I want to do for other people. I want them to have the same opportunity. I came up through the housing authority, as many do here in Merced. If Chano can do it, ¿por qué yo no?
Mhm.
But if certain individuals, these individuals that are coming up through there don't know that it's possible, they'll be blind. They'll be sheltered away from actually knowing what it is to be, to have the possibility of being productive, to be someone that, you know what, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it the right way. First and foremost, it's rare that I drink. I don't smoke. Definitely don't do drugs. At any point in time, yo no me hago para atrás. My taxes are paid for. I'm married, 2 kids. I have my mom, got my brothers and sisters, 5 boys and 2 girls. I live in Mercedes. I try my best to shop in Mercedes. I try to spend as much quality time. I'm out there. I don't turn my face from anybody. No le niego saludo a ninguna persona. Where I can help, I'll help. Now, granted, I'm not rich. I've never claimed to be rich. I don't have money. I can't, pay for, other individuals and this and that. I can do what I can with the people that I know throughout the county, throughout the state. Electing Ruben Chano Guajardo is going to ensure one thing for its voters and its residents: that the quality of representation at the local, county, state, and national level is going to be second to none. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that they can take to the bank.
That's great. Your ability to be able to work on all levels of government, starting here in town. But what about when crisis hits? Every once in a while we're in the Mercedes and in the mainstream news, this or that. Um, And it's not all, sometimes it, we can't stop it, we can't hide from it. Um, are there any issues that stand out that people are talking about, that you as a new, re-elected official would take a stand on?
Right now, I've got huge concerns of uh, basically the border violence, and we're limited. Uh, but there's things that we can do within our community, within our means, to ensure safety of our officers, our police department, our city hall, its personnel. But those are things that we need to make sure that we do. We can't. It's things of a decade ago are not things that affect Mercedes today. My thing is, I've always been able to understand and realize and say, hey, great job, or you know what, it was my fault. Give recognition, give credit where credit's due.
Right.
We have to be able to adapt to the different times, the different situations that face our community and its taxpayer. Ultimately, if we do that, we're going to be good. Safety is a huge issue. Now, nationally, there's national averages on everything. From ambulance services, what the calls should be time-wise, uh, police department, ratio of individuals, population to individual officers on duty. Uh, right now, I haven't looked at the books, but I can assure you that we're not even close. The reason behind it is because of the influx of people from the Alabama. So we're hurting as far as that's concerned. Uh, but it's very difficult to try to just come in and hire an additional 7, 8 officers that is needed to take care of Mercedes. For the most part, my hat's off to the police department, to the chief. I think they've done an outstanding job. Is it easy? Of course not. Is it long hours? Of course it is. The positive things that the police department has been able to do is always giving back to our community. It doesn't matter if it's a Halloween carnival, right before going back to school, the chief, the police department, and they're out there supplying our kids, our students with the necessities to go in there at the very beginning and have paper and pencil and notebooks, what's needed. I don't see consistently other chiefs doing it. They may do one function here or there, or whatever, but I think our chief's very, very involved in our community, and she goes out of our way to take care of our people.
Multiple functions.
So I think she does 3 or 4 functions per year. That's giving back to our people. I love that. Fire department, they do a great job. For the most part, at one point it was just 100% strictly volunteers. We've been able to put some monies into it. We're able to put the monies together for the new public works facility. The new fire station that should be built, we allocated that money before former Mayor Quintanilla left, back in, I think it was 2010 or 2011. So those are things, we did a lot of good things in Mercedes. We left a lot of things in place. For some reason or another, it seems that they haven't gotten done for one reason or another. I don't know what it is. But we did some things. We want to go back and we need to pick up the momentum that we had a few years ago and move forward. That's what I want to do. So as far as that's concerned, yes, I've got concerns, with the safety of our people, with the safety in our community, but it's not a grave. There's not something that I know for a fact something's going to happen. you know, we as individuals, we just want to make sure that our community is protected and taken care of. You know, there's nothing out there that says, oh, you know, we need to hire more personnel because we're not covering shifts, or any shift went unmanned because no había, or there was only one officer on duty. That's not the case. The case is, you know, we've got several officers on a daily basis and that are running and taking care of our community. Our city limits are expanding, so they've got more territory to cover. We're annexing, you know, year after year, and you know, so basically that means our community is just growing and growing and growing. So all of a sudden, you know, what used to be, you know, 2-3 minutes to get to a call, maybe, you know, 3.5, 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. But you know, those are growing pains. But if you structure properly, if you structure correctly, you know, it's something that is going to be very, very handleable. So having said that, you know, I'm good. We've got some pressing issues in our community, but more than anything, I think the two things, I think the lack of respect for our people is number one, and number two, we need to concentrate on on positive growth in Mercedes.
Good. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, we're approaching early voting pretty soon. Absentee ballots probably gonna start going in a few weeks. Any last words you'd like to say before we end our meeting today?
Once again, Rudy, you know, I just thank you. Thank you for always being there for the city of Mercedes and its people, you know, attending functions, and it's long hours, and for the most part, you know, your position and elected officials are almost the same.
Right.
It's thankless,
Yeah.
long hours, but in the end, you do it because you love it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I do it because I love it. My name is Ruben Guajardo. I would appreciate any and all consideration to re-elect or elect, put back into office myself. Understand and realize that my intent is to take care of Mercedes and its taxpayers. I will do anything and everything possibly that is possible for me to make sure that Mercedes is in a better position and situation than where it is at present time. You know, we work and we'll continue to work for our people. So early voting starts April 29th and election day is May 11th. I've got 3 other individuals vying for the same slot, Commissioner Place 4. Trust in me. Si me pueden ayudar, agradecidos. Si no se puede, no hay cuidado. Mis respetos, aquí estamos para servirles.
Thank you, Channel, for coming in. This is Valleywood Magazine streaming on Ustream, Twitter, Facebook, and valleywoodmag.com. Thanks a lot, sir, for coming in today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.